Sithole was sentenced to death for the murder of his stepson. There was no eyewitness, no murder weapon, and no medical explanation for exactly how the child died. Yet investigators believed the evidence pointed to the person closest to the victim, his own stepfather. March 2022, a quiet community in Lobatse was shaken by the sudden disappearance of a 7-year-old boy. What began as a desperate missing person search would soon evolve into one of the most disturbing cases the community had ever witnessed. The child had last been seen between Mulawapojang and Lobatse. His family searched frantically. Neighbors joined in. Days turned into weeks, and with every passing moment, hope slowly faded into fear. At the center of the family stood the boy's stepfather, a 37-year-old Zimbabwean man named Lovemore Sithole. To the outside world, he appeared calm during the search efforts, but investigators would later believe something far darker had been hidden behind that composure. A month after the child vanished, the nightmare took a devastating turn. Search parties combining an isolated area along Lobatse Road made a grim discovery. Deep in the bush, hidden among the wilderness, were human remains, only bones and a skull. The scene was heartbreaking. Police quickly secured the area and sent remains for forensic examination. DNA testing later confirmed the community's worst fears. The skull belonged to the missing 7-year-old boy. But investigators faced a major problem. Because only skeletal remains were recovered, forensic experts could not perform a standard autopsy. There was no full body to examine. Doctors could not determine whether the child had been strangled, poisoned, or attacked with a weapon. The exact physical actions used to take the victim's life remained unknown. That absence of medical answers created a chilling mystery at the center of the case. Even without a confirmed cause of death, investigators began uncovering information that pointed toward a horrifying motive. According to the state's case, the child had allegedly been sold to ritualists or traditional doctors for money. Authorities believed the murdering was connected to muti rituals, practices in which body parts are harvested for traditional medicine, believed by some to bring wealth, power, and success. Rumors spread rapidly through the community. People whispered about an alleged payment of equivalent to 280,000 rand. The allegations were so disturbing that fear, anger swept across Lobatse. Investigators argued that the remains had been deliberately hidden in a remote bush area to destroy evidence and conceal how the child had been killed. In July 2022, police arrested Sithole and charged him with murder. He appeared before the magistrate court in Lobatse under heavy public attention. Prosecutors strongly opposed bail, arguing that he was a foreign national from Zimbabwe and he could flee the country if released. The court agreed. He was remanded in custody as the case moved toward the High Court. But the path to justice became painfully slow. In June 2023, proceedings stalled after key state documents opposing bail were discovered to be written in Setswana instead of English, the official language required by the court. A judge ordered the documents translated before the matter could continue. More delays followed. Later in 2023, another High Court judge criticized repeated disruptions after defense lawyers failed to appear for important case management meetings. Despite the legal setbacks, the accused remained behind bars. While the state continued building its case, prosecutors relied heavily on circumstantial evidence, DNA findings, and alleged ritual motive. Although medical experts could not identify the exact cause of death, the state argued that the hidden remains, the disappearance, and the surrounding evidence painted a clear picture of murder. The case dragged on under intense public scrutiny as many demanded justice for the young victim, whose life had ended so brutally. Eventually, the court delivered its final judgment. The High Court found Love Mositole guilty of murder because Botswana law allows capital punishment for severe crimes. The judge imposed the harshest sentence available. Sitole was sentenced to death for the murder of his stepson. Today, he remains on death row, awaiting the ultimate penalty for a crime that shocked communities across Botswana and left behind questions that may never be fully answered.